News that we are breaking to you. Army Chief General Naravane to visit Leh today. After the Army Commanders Conference gets over, he will review the on-ground situation with 14 core officials and the progress in talks with the Chinese military. Meanwhile, remember, there were marathon top military level talks between India and China, and India has pressed for a few major issues. One of the issues that India raised, of course, was withdrawal of Chinese troops from the Indian territory in Pangong Tso in eastern Ladakh. India has also expressed outrage at the brutal violence unleashed on Indian soldiers in the Galwan Valley, which killed 20 Indian soldiers on the 15th of June. India has also strongly reiterated the demand to return to status quo of April 2020. The meeting between the Indian and Chinese military commanders lasted for over 11 hours. The important thing also, of course, is that the Army Chief is today visiting Leh in order to take stock of the ground situation and also to have a review of the preparations at the LAC. High-level military talks were held on Monday. India pushed forward its demand to withdraw to China to withdraw its troops from the Galwan Valley, as also to maintain status quo of April 2020, what has been decided mutually by the two countries. India pressed China to honor the mutual agreement and the consensus that was reached over the matter. And the major points, of course, being withdrawal of Chinese troops from Indian territory in Pangong Tso in eastern Ladakh, and reiterating the demand for return of status quo immediately. The talks lasted almost for 11 hours on Monday. Srinjoy Chaudhary joining me on the phone line. Srinjoy, today the big update, of course, being that the Army Chief is going to visit Leh with a big agenda to take stock of the ground situation. If you could also update us with what transpired in the top military level talks. As we understand, this comes at a very crucial time, and India has pitched for a withdrawal of troops as also for a return to status quo.
Well, the most important thing is, of course, what we've heard initially, that they were cordial and ended on a positive note. Now what we are hearing is that both sides will be moving ahead with de-escalation as planned earlier. Now this means that there had been a plan to de-escalate, which was basically to move back troops to a certain extent and also thin out troops wherever they were. And that process had already been talked about earlier. Now what we are hearing is that process will be looked at now. Naturally, to do that, you will need further talks at a lower level, and perhaps that could happen shortly afterwards.
All right, so let's hope that the discussions and the consultations over the de-escalation yields positive results. We leave it at that, Srinjoy. Thanks for now. Meanwhile,